Ohio State's basketball team takes another hit as multiple players enter the transfer portal.
You are Locked On Buckeyes, your daily podcast on the Ohio State Buckeyes. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome in, Buckeye fans, to a bonus episode of Locked On Buckeyes, which is your daily Ohio State podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your host, Jay Stevens, also the host of the Jay Stevens Podcast. And during this Hardwood Huddle, we'll discuss what's next for Jake Diebler. But first, Ohio State's basketball team is trying to find a formula that is better than the one they used last year. The Buckeyes are 17-15. They were just on the outside of making the field of 68. And nobody in that program wants to have another season like they had last year. While trying to figure out a successful formula, Ohio State is also losing a couple players to the portal. One, Austin Parks, another, Evan Mahaffey. Two guys that could have been role players for Ohio State next year, but have decided to play basketball elsewhere. And it's never good when you're losing players in any program. But for these two guys who I think could be role players and could be developed, especially Parks being the younger guy, next year under Diebler, losing them could be big. It also makes you work a whole lot harder. When you're losing some seniors and you're also losing some guys to the portal, that's making more work for you. Work that you already have to do anyway to try to figure out a way to put a competent roster together and not have players leaving or have FBI investigation during the season. But you want to keep the core guys. You want to keep the guys that have been there even when you were an assistant coach. And after 1 year with you there, two guys leave. That can mess up your mentals, man, because these coaches are human. And Jake Diebler realizes he's under a lot of pressure. I'm not saying he's on the hot seat. I'm not going that far. It's too early. He's only been coaching for 1 year as a head coach. It's too early for that. However, think about the headache this might create. Austin Parks, an Ohio kid, a guy who was a big man that could be developed into a competent big man at 6'10", 250. We know to win in the Big Ten, you have to have competent big men. You have to have strong big men. You have to have athletic big men. You got to have a guy that can do a lot of things out there on the court. Well, Austin Parks, once developed, I think he can be that. But based off his role this past year and the amount of games he played in the Scarlet and Gray, he says no. Evan Mahaffey was a transfer. He's been at Ohio State for a couple of years. Started during his first year in Columbus, Ohio, and then this year he took a back seat to Micah Parrish, who was no longer able to play college basketball anymore. So Mahaffey, who is also an Ohio kid, just like Austin Parks, both of them are saying no. And I understand it. I'm not the biggest fan of the rules for the portal. If you look at the portal right now, and you can go and Google the guys that are in the portal, you will see the abnormal amount of players that are leaving their schools. Some are chasing $1. Some might be trying to chase a bigger role. Like I think these two guys are chasing a bigger role. I do think Evan Mahaffey can't start next year. Austin Parks could be the 6th or 7th man in a rotation for a team next year. I don't think he would be that at Ohio State, but I do think in the right situation with the right coaching at the right level, I think he can be that guy. The portal is weird because not only is it weird in the way that a lot of us grew up with the rules, the old rules of the portal, but the fact that you can just leave whenever you want to. Oh, I tried to school. No, I'm going to go somewhere else. I'm going to go somewhere else. It mirrors a lot of the rules at different high schools and players that go and play for 3 or 4 high schools in their high school football or basketball careers. That doesn't sit well with me at the high school level. And it feels weird when there are guys that are playing at 4 or 5 schools at the collegiate level. But that's where we are. For Mahaffey, I understand the portal. I understand the rules. I'm actually kind of glad he's trying to find a way for him to play basketball somewhere that fits him. Austin Parks, same thing. Go find a place to play basketball that fits you. For Ohio State, though, this isn't good at all. When you're already losing, I'm going to go this really quickly. You're already losing Micah Parrish. You're losing Quest Glover, who was a good guy off the bench. You already lost Michie Johnson. And now you're losing Parks and Mahaffey. That's 5 guys. That adds to the players and the positions that you need to target in the portal, which adds to the task, one more task on Jake Diebler's to-do list. And you know what? This seems like a good time to move over to Jake Diebler and to discuss his to-do list and some priority positions he needs to target in the portal. We'll dive into those next. This episode is brought to you by Supply House. Get the supplies you need from the site made for the skilled trades. Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is a reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400 plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage. Now it's your turn. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. This episode is also brought to you by Monarch Money. Ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app, it's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place, so you stop just managing your money and start building your wealth. When I started using Monarch, I realized just how much I was spending on food delivery. Now I budget smarter and save more. Managing money with your partner is smoother than ever. You can track shared and personal accounts, set goals, and stay on the same page without the stress. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONCollege at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONCollege for half off your first year. Thank y'all for tapping Locked On Buckeyes and making this show your first listen of the day. While Jake Diebler is seeing a couple guys leave the program and is already losing a few more guys due to graduation and their collegiate careers being over, that adds to the to-do list that's right in front of Jake Diebler every single day. He's currently pursuing a guy, name escapes me once again, that's an Ohio kid that might come to Ohio State to play basketball next year. I believe he was at Xavier last year, so he's staying in the state, which is great. But also, it just puts more of an emphasis that's already there for Jake Diebler to go after a guy on the wing and some quality big men to add to Ohio State's roster. Those are the two things. And you could add really all five guys, all five positions: point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, et cetera. I believe Ohio State could benefit from all five of them coming in for the portal. But specifically, a guy on the wing and more quality big men. Because the big men is needed possibly more than the wings are, but both are major needs for Ohio State. Losing Micah Parrish and losing Mahaffey and losing some other guys at Ohio State, it's one of those things that it could make a coach's job hard, and a coach may say, no, I'm going to mail it in. I don't think Diebler's that kind of guy. I think the energy that he plays with, I don't know what happened to my phone. The music never plays like that, if you heard that through the microphone. But I think Diebler's a guy that's trying to tackle this thing head on, work with the assistant coaches, and trying to figure out a formula. But with the amount of players in the portal, it shouldn't be hard to find a player that's the type of player you want with a skill set. Now, when you try to figure out is he a culture fit, is he going to be a guy that can shift the culture to be a winning culture, that may be a little bit harder. You may want to look back into his past and do some digging and make sure he's the right kind of individual. That takes a little bit more work, but it's easy to evaluate the basketball. You can watch his film and say, oh, that guy has the goods. That guy has exactly what we want in a basketball player. But you need to prioritize the wings and bigs. Absolutely. If you look out there in college basketball, no matter if it's the college basketball crown or the NIT or the big dance, doesn't matter. When you look out there, what do the good teams have? Good wing play, a good lead guard, and quality bigs. Multiple quality bigs. And so for Ohio State, they got a good lead guard. They need better wing play, and they need better play from the bigs. Prioritizing the wings and the bigs, even if these two guys didn't leave, you still need to prioritize that. If you do that for Jake Diebler, you can work right now. He can work right now to have a better season in his second year leading the Buckeye basketball program than he had in his first. It's possible to be better, but it's going to be a lot of work. And you got to be consistently putting in that work to make sure Ohio State's roster is better. You also got to get a good sales pitch, man, because you're selling Ohio State and a program that didn't do well, that's missed the NCAA tournament 3 years in a row. Yeah, the NIL dollars might be there, but, buddy, when you're missing the tournament 3 years in a row, a lot of guys aren't even going to look at you because they want to go play in the big dance, be on that big stage, be in the field of 68, and show everybody and their mama what they can do with the basketball in their hands. You got the right sales pitch to turn the tide and to shift the culture and to build the roster in a way that Jake Diebler needs it to be. Thank y'all for tapping the Locked On Buckeyes and making this show a part of your day. Make sure you go ahead and check out Locked On College Basketball with Andy Patton and Isaac Shea. Those are the guys you need to follow all tournament long, not just the big dance and the NCAA tournament, but also the college basketball crown and the NIT and the college basketball invitational. There's 4 postseason tournaments. They're going to cover all of it and make sure you get all the college ball you need every single day. Find Locked On College Basketball and Locked On Buckeyes on the YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. You can follow me on Twitter or any social media platform at jstevens07. Send every email to jstevens317@gmail.com. It's been Locked On Buckeyes on a Wednesday. We'll see you next time.